Peter Saul, my first mentor, asked me, what do you really think about? And I said, well, the things I really think about are not very nice. And he said, that's what you should be painting.
We seem to have a great capacity to tolerate violence, but we have a limited capacity to tolerate critiques of that violence.
He works from a place of political outrage. As a Mexican-American, he understands what discrimination is.
Some people sit there and just cry. Others, with the kind of talent Alfred Quiroz has, can bring attention to injustice.
He was the first Hispanic to be hired as a full-time professor at the University of Arizona.
I actually first met Alfred when I took a painting class with him. It was fun to come to class. At the same time, he's a serious artist. He has high standards for students.
I was always reading comic books, Mad Magazine, and then I started copying the comics. I was always the school artist, but my main focus in school was always math and science. If you wanted to run for office in high school and you wanted to get elected, you went to see Elkie. I was Elkie. And Elkie would do your thing with magic markers, Mad Magazine stuff. They would get elected. When I graduated high school, in high expectation of continuing my career as an artist, and then found out there was no art scholarships that year, so I joined the Navy. Ended up going to Vietnam. Became the ship's artist, designing flags, painting. Plus I was teaching a little bit of art classes on the ship. When we first got to Vietnam, off the coast of Vietnam, I couldn't believe it was like looking at paradise, these beautiful white pristine beaches, palm trees, you know, the jungle. To me it was like, why are we screwing up with paradise? Throughout the whole entire 4 years, 3 months, 2 days, I would write to the San Francisco Art Institute every month. I want to study painting at the San Francisco Art Institute. Sincerely yours. And then I would put my rank down, you know, Alfred Quiroz Seaman or Alfred Quiroz Quartermaster third class. Then I became Quartermaster second class. So the GI Bill was reenacted. January of '68, went to the San Francisco Art Institute. I'm applying to get my BFA in painting. And they said, where's your portfolio? I don't have a portfolio. I have nothing. Looking through my paperwork, they said, you're the one who's been writing. You've been getting all your letters. Yeah, that's me. The GI Bill covered tuition, period. I would give them the green check and they would say, thank you. And I'm like, oh, isn't there like rent money and food money supposed to come out of that? Nope, got to get a job. So I got a job as a fry cook. So I would work graveyard 11 to 7, 40 hours a week, union cook. I would draw floating hamburgers on my hat. Head supervisor came and complained that stop drawing on your hats. And I made a series of hamburger drawings just to get that element out.
His work is satirical, but it comes from a base of his knowledge of history, of the world and history of America, and history of immigration, the wonderful things immigration has created for this country, and the problems this country has created for the immigrants.
He's actually got a really sculptural sense of painting and space, shaped canvases, and the way that he sort of constructs environments with the narratives of the large scale. There's something almost theatrical about that. But the result is that the work is deeply immersive.
This is how I start. This is my rough sketch. It's a wall piece. I'm figuring out the size, 6 by 8. So I make notes, see? Good old Hickory. Okay, he was known as Old Hickory. He's known for the $20 bill. His inauguration was the first one open to the public. So they were serving cheese. And I'm like, serving cheese? I'm thinking that his legs are going to be maybe in a jig. 1838, the Great Removal Act. Removing the Indians militarily. The Medal of Honor painting's idea came to me in 1972 when the war ended in Vietnam. I cried. Too many friends are still there. One of the paintings I did was put them on top of us, was an actual incident that happened in the Vietnam War. I knew I was going to upset a lot of people. I mean, I've given lectures where ex-military people get up and walk out. And I understand, I know why they're doing that. There's a certain patriotism, but they don't understand what I'm really talking about. I'm really talking about the symbols that are being used, and the fact that we always think of war as either being an economical element or against somebody that we don't like. But majority of wars is a way of legalizing murder.
One of the greatest black artists in the United States acted as his mentor.
Both Colescott and Quiroz terrify people, and in the best possible way.
My presidential series was a direct spin-off of the Medal of Honor series. Who's in charge of the soldiers in the Medal of Honor? President of the United States. He's the commander-in-chief. My relationship between art and justice. For me, they go hand in hand. It's my way of justifying some of the stuff that goes on, the evils in the world, the evils I've experienced. I mean, I've been called every Mexican slur word you can imagine. In my artwork, it was important for me to be able to reflect on that. So justice, it's about my work. We're not making things pretty. I can make it look pretty, but I can hammer you over the head with that prettiness. And it comes from Duchamp's thinking of shock, shocking the viewer. And that's the idea of my work, is to make you think. Why did he do this? Or why would he show that? If I can alter your mind a 16th of an inch, then I've struck.
Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, host of Arizona Illustrated. Thanks so much for watching this story from our show. And for more local stories from Arizona Illustrated, just click right here.